Hiya, and this is just a talk on energy and conserving energy and spirituality. I often go off on a tangent, that's just me, but I hope that this video makes sense. So I guess I'm going to call this series Spirit School, and Spirit School, yeah, so this is Spirit School lesson 1. Okay, so we're all here, we're all human beings, and we've been born onto this planet. And there's many religions, there's many philosophies, there's many ideas out there in the world. Now, if you think about yourself when you are a little baby, bear with me, this is all going to tie in. You come into the world, you're a little baby, and you're totally dependent on your caregivers, your mum and dad for everything, or whoever brings you up. So you're dependent on someone else to bring you up. They feed you, teach you how to walk and all that stuff. So just imagine you're learning to walk, and you remember you're crawling and you're holding on to things, and you're walking and holding on to things, and you're thinking you're so clever, and you fall down, and one day you master it. And then it's like your body, you know, starts to support you, because you remember when you're a little kid, you have problems holding up your own head. That's why we have to be so careful when we're holding the baby's head and stuff. So as a baby, you have to learn to support yourself. So your body, your limbs, everything's growing simultaneously. As you age, you start being able to, you know, feed or grab out at the spoon and stuff and all that kind of stuff, because your body's ability is growing. So by the time we've turned 18, we have grown, we can walk, we can cook, we can clean. You know, if we have got disabilities, some of us still need aids and all of that, but if you stick with me, we become more independent the more we grow up, whether that be just in our abilities. So the whole goal of life is growing up, and the end goal of adulthood is to you know, be your own person and know your own mind and know your own thoughts and know who you are. And in order to do that, you can't just admit your good points, because when you just admit your good points, you're totally blindsiding yourself. Because number one, when you don't accept the bad parts of you, which I was guilty of for many years, and when I look back at it now, I just think it's ridiculous the way I used to go about things, but we all do it. It's like we just get so upset, or we don't really want to admit the bad things that we've done, and we feel bad and we feel guilty, and we don't like to feel about the past. In fact, we try and run into hobbies, hanging out with our friends, drink, drugs, you know, so much escape routes out there right now. So yeah, so we kind of just run off into different tangents, and we suppress ourselves. But once I started to embrace my shadow, I realised what a disservice that was, because we get blindsided from the fact that ever since we've been growing, since a little baby, we've come here to learn, and we've had to learn to support our little heads and feed ourselves and crawl and walk and talk and write and clothe ourselves, dress ourselves, and remember your first paycheck and all these big things which we wasn't able to do when we was a baby. So life is about advancement. So it doesn't matter what religion, what philosophy you pick up, the end game of it is to always make sure that you are aware that you are meant to become your own spiritual director, your own guru, your quoting scripture. Now, this is not a, you know, I just love scripture. It's because I'm at that level in my past now where I accept all philosophy. I see the good and merit in everything. So I don't really see things in a dual manner anymore. I see everything kind of as one. So anyway, the end goal of anything, of adulthood, you know, going from that baby into being able to walk and talk and getting your first paycheck, is you're meant to know your own mind. You're meant to come to that point when you know exactly who you are, where you're going. This is why it gets ridiculous when we get over 30 and stuff, and we invite lovers into our lives, and we let people come in and tell us who we are and put us down and steal our energy and stuff. That's the number one thing I want you to get clear of, is that your energy is the most important thing. It's your life force. That's why a lot of us are stressed out. We've got anxiety and depression, and we're all run down. We're all going to hospitals. Doctors don't know what's the matter with us. We've all got acute little symptoms going on. And what I'm trying to say in all of this is all down to energy, and you're giving your energy. And there's people that will take your energy, and this can just be friends or family, and then there's more, you know, bigger accounts of it where people will set up like their organizations and get you into, you know, following their mindsets. But what they're doing, they're draining your energy. I believe that if you're following any philosophy or ideal, within 5 years, or let's say 9, because, you know, depending on, you know, your life circumstances once you join it, your life should be akin to the leader. I'm not saying you should be the leader of that organisation. What I'm trying to say, you should have that same flowing abundance running through your life. If you haven't, then your abundance is going to your leader. Your life force is going to your leader. So they're conning you of your life force. So for you, giving your willpower over to any relationship, any sort of, I don't know, like religious leader or anything like that, really, because there's the source. No one who I have ever met has been able to show me the ability that they have brought us into existence or created this world. So there's this unknown force, and some of us call us God, call him God or her God, or, you know, Allah or Buddha or any of the other names, the Most High. But we must not forget that all these paths, these roads that we take in life, so that's why it doesn't really matter what philosophy you follow or anything. You must know that the end game is to follow yourself. And the reason why you can get to the end game of following yourself, because you place the trust in the Most High or Mama Nature, and you know, like Jesus said, the temple, you know, the kingdom is within you. We've all got that power, that connection of source in us, and some of us have got it broken, and it's about reconnecting back to source. So that is the end goal of anything. So you can listen to anyone, you can read any religion or follow any religion, but the end goal is that you have to have that divine connection to the Christ consciousness. This is how you advance, you know. So when you're getting into, you know, your late 30s, your 40s, you know who you are. You have someone come into your space. You know, you're going out looking for love, but you go out there and you know, you pick up someone who's a bit narcissistic or wants to put you down. You push that right out your door. You know, we have these dodgy relationships in our 18s and our 20s because we're trying to grow, and sometimes we need them to show us who we are as well. Because what my relationships did for me is to hold that mirror. And because I was always questioning myself and questioning others and stuff, mostly questioning others at the beginning, but it's when I started to question myself properly, deep, and go to the places where I was scared to go. Because that's another thing with emotions. A lot of the times we've got all this baggage and it's painful, and you know, it's hard to go there, but we have to go there because the only way through is through. And it's better to start dealing with your emotions than a lifetime of nothingness, just repetitive, going through the same thing. If you go through your emotions and face, you know, the pain and deal with the situations that you buried, and, you know, the things that happened in the past that we don't like to admit happened or we don't want to talk about, it's those things that we need to root up, you know, like a gardener. Root up the roots, you know, turn it all up into compost and make it, you know, use that compost to plant seeds in to give us a new and better life. And yeah, so I hope you got the message in this. This is Spirit School Lesson 1, and the end goal is to become a fully fledged individual by the time you hit your 30s, 40s. And that means that you know yourself, and that means that that's your good points and your bad points. Inside out, you have compassion, you nurture, you heal, you forgive yourself, you accept yourself, and you know, you even forgive the fact that, you know, sometimes you fall off the bike, meaning sometimes you say, oh, I don't want to do this, but you do it, you know, because, you know, no one's perfect. We have to give up this, you know, this rampant search for perfection and seeking from outside what we haven't got inside ourselves. You know, we all go out there looking for love, but we haven't got that deep loving bond with ourselves. So if we want that deep loving bond with a soulmate or twin flame or whatever, we have to have that with ourselves first. And the way we get to that connection is by healing our past and plugging into the source and the Christ consciousness within us. So this was Spirit School lesson 1. Catch me on lesson 2. Peace out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.